You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio, and we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Tuesday, August 5th. In our top story, a man is charged with attempted murder following a stabbing here in Perump at Petrick Park. News 25 has the latest on this arrest.
On August 4th, at approximately 5:13 p.m., Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to Petrick Park following reports of a stabbing. Upon arrival, officers discovered a male victim suffering from apparent stab and cut wounds to his right forearm and left shoulder. Medical personnel responded to the scene to treat the victim's injuries. According to the reporting party, the suspect, later identified as Ronald Cross, fled the scene on a black bicycle heading southbound on Highway 160. Officers quickly located Cross near the Rebel gas station directly across from where the incident occurred and took him into custody without further incident. Authorities noted that Cross was unable to form coherent sentences and exhibited symptoms consisting with being under the influence of narcotics at the time of his arrest. He was transported to Nye County Detention Center and booked on charges of attempted murder with a deadly weapon and being under the influence of a controlled substance. The victim declined transportation to the hospital despite being advised that his injuries would require stitches. Nye County Sheriff Joe McGill addressed the incident during today's Board of County Commissioners meeting.
Wanted to address, yes, the stabbing yesterday. It was minor injuries. The victim refused medical treatment, and the suspect was located and taken into custody within minutes of the initial call and was arrested for felony charges.
And now the family of a retired police chief who was unfortunately struck and killed while biking in Las Vegas back in 2023, that family is now taking legal action, filing a lawsuit against both the suspects accused in the case and the automaker whose vehicle was involved. Rory Rossell has this story.
The family of a retired police chief who was hit and killed while riding his bicycle in Las Vegas are now suing both of the suspects and the automaker involved in this case. The wrongful death lawsuit filed last week in Clark County District Court by the widow and children of 72-year-old Andreas Probst, who was fatally struck in 2023 in the Centennial Hills area. Las Vegas police alleged that the suspects Jesus Ayala and Himar Keys were both behind the wheel in a stolen Hyundai Elantra when they intentionally ran down Probst in a disturbing, premeditated act that was also captured on video. This civil suit names both Ayala and Keys, which are now 19 and 18 years old, as well as Hyundai Motor Company. The Probst family is seeking damages for pain and suffering, claiming the young men were directly responsible for the former law enforcement police officer's death. But the lawsuit also targets Hyundai, alleging that the company was liable for what it describes as a manufacturing defect that left this vehicle vulnerable to theft. Attorneys for Probst's family argue that this vehicle's lack of anti-theft protections made it an easy target and, once stolen, a danger to the public. Ayala and Keys remain in custody and face charges of murder and multiple felonies in connection with this incident. Their trial is set to begin in January 2026.
And if you're driving in and around Las Vegas, you probably saw even more smoke in the valley today. This after a large fire rips through an apartment complex under construction in North Las Vegas early this morning. It unfortunately sent one worker to the hospital with serious injuries.
A large fire tore through an apartment building construction site in North Las Vegas early Tuesday morning, today, August 5th, leaving one worker seriously injured and prompting a 2-alarm response from fire crews. The blaze was reported around 6:55 a.m. near the 6500 block of North 5th Street in the area of Losee Road and the 215 Beltway. According to a spokesperson for the city of North Las Vegas, arriving firefighters encountered heavy flames engulfing multiple 3-story apartment buildings that were still under construction. The fire quickly escalated, prompting a second alarm and drawing roughly 75 emergency personnel to the scene. Meanwhile, North Las Vegas police officers worked to evacuate surrounding buildings as a precaution. The fire was brought under control around 8:25 a.m., though crews remained on site to monitor for hot spots and access neighboring buildings for potential heat damages. One construction worker reportedly jumped from an upper floor of one of the burning buildings in attempt to escape the fire. He was transported to UMC with injuries described as potentially life-threatening. The cause of this fire still remains under investigation.
The Las Vegas Raiders make a pretty big trade. Mikey Ruhan has all that and more in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The Las Vegas Aviators kick off a 6-game series tonight in Utah against the Salt Lake City Bees. The Las Vegas Aces play the Golden State Valkyries tomorrow night in California. The Vegas Nighthawks welcome the San Diego Strike Force this Saturday for round 2 of the IFL playoffs. The Vegas Golden Knights announced details of their efforts to give away $20,000 worth of gas from the VGK Foundation at Smith's, located at 9710 West Syke Canyon Park Drive, on Sunday, August 10th at 8 a.m. Cars will receive $50 worth of free gasoline until a total of $20,000 has been donated. Members of the VGK cast, including Chance, the Vegas Vivas, the Knights Guard, will be on hand to greet fans. The Las Vegas Raiders have reportedly traded quarterback Jacorian Bennett to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for defense tackle Thomas Booker. Both players must pass physicals for the deal to become official. Bend over and cough. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thanks so much, Mikey. Smoke and Sports Report. And speaking of smoke, we have updates on the wildfires causing all the smoke in our region when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, an air quality alert is issued for Clark County as smoke from the California wildfires continues to drift into our region. And it's not just affecting the Las Vegas Valley. Here in Perump, that haze is hard to miss. Let's take a closer look at what Clark County officials are saying about the conditions and what you need to know.
The Clark County Division of Air Quality with a little air quality update for you. We're keeping a real close watch on the wildfire smoke from fires in California, which have been coming this way for days. And they, as you recall, if you were here, they really clobbered us Sunday afternoon and yesterday morning, Monday morning. We have another area of smoke coming into our valley area here on the model output. It's not going to last for too long like yesterday, but when it's here, it might get heavy again. We're also watching on some of our air quality cameras on top of the M Resort and some mountaintop cameras, which show that there is smoke coming into the area. What I tell people is, if you can see it, it's probably thick enough that you ought to be thinking about it. Use the Air Now app to know what the current conditions of air quality about as well as we can put it out to you. And we'll keep you informed.
Did you know that August is Back to School Safety Month? So Valley Electric Association, in conjunction with CFL Charlie and LED Lucy, are shedding some light on electrical safety for kids.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
CFL Charlie here, and welcome to ESN, the Energy Safety Network. Our top story tonight, overworked outlets. For more, we go to LED Lucy at the scene.
Thanks, Charlie. I'm here in the living room where we have an overloaded electrical outlet. To stay safe, avoid plugging too many things into one socket. Also, watch for cords and cables like this strewn across your floor. Keep them neat and keep an eye out. You could trip or pull the outlet out of the wall. Back to you, Charlie.
Great stuff, Lucy. This just in, breaking news on breaking bad energy habits, electricity, and water. In the bathroom or kitchen, keep straighteners, dryers, and appliances away from water, and avoid leaving drinks near computers, TVs, or gaming systems. One spill could cause a fire or shock. And always remember, ask your parents for help when working with electricity. Well, that's it for us here at the Energy Safety Network. Stay in the know with electricity and stay safe. Explore more at kidsenergyzone.com.
In other area news, the 90-day deadline for short-term vacation rental licensing here in Perump began this week. We have details.
On July 15, 2025, the Nye County Board of Commissioners adopted Perump Town Ordinance Number 74, establishing licensing requirements for short-term vacation rentals under Chapter 8.115 of the Town Code. The ordinance took effect August 4th, 2025, and short-term vacation rental owners have 90 days until November 2nd, 2025 to complete registration, licensing, and inspections with the town of Pahrump. Property owners must also comply with the state and local business license requirements and register for room tax reporting on payment through the Nye County Treasurer's Office. For more information, visit perrumpnv.gov.
In today's health news, we're discussing the health risks surrounding microplastics and even nanoplastics. And if you're not sure what they are and why they have everyone talking, listen up.
Today's health report is brought to you by Desert View Hospital. When you or a loved one needs medical attention, Desert View Hospital is ready to help. We've been providing friendly and compassionate care to our neighbors since 2006, including emergency services available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit desertviewhospital.com to learn more. With limited exceptions, physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital.
Both microplastics and nanoplastics are the byproducts of plastic breakdown in the environment. You can think of nanoplastics as so small you can't see them with your own eye. You need really specialized machinery to look at them. And even microplastics are very, very small pieces of plastic and plastic chemicals that you can't see with the naked eye, and again, need specialized equipment to visualize.
Cleveland Clinic researcher Dr. Christopher Hine says that both microplastics and nanoplastics have been found in humans. They can enter our bodies through many ways, including the foods we eat, the water we drink, and even the air we breathe. Dr. Hine says these plastics can potentially affect things like our hormones, metabolism, and may even contribute to weight gain. Ways to help limit your exposure including using microwave-safe food containers and turning to alternative storage like glass, metal, or ceramic. Most importantly, don't avoid water just because it's in a plastic bottle, but try to keep plastic containers out of direct sunlight.
I definitely don't want individuals to, say, be at 90 degrees in the summer and not drinking water because they're afraid to consume the plastics. It's dehydration is a far worse condition than being exposed to microplastics. But if you have the ability to store your water it's in plastic outside of direct sunlight in a cool place, then please do.
Don't grab that remote. We have weather, looking at our first full week of August, and much more news when we return.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. We're throwing it over now to Josh Osborne at Great Computer Deals, where he's discussing the myth about overcharged batteries.
Hey guys, Josh Osborne here with Perump's own Great Computer Deals. It's time for another quick tutorial. Today we are talking about computer myths. These are things that we've heard our customers say over the years that are unfortunately completely wrong. They've probably done some research online or heard from other people and just got bad data. We're here to bust those myths. Myth number one is, if I keep my laptop plugged in, it will overcharge the battery. That is a myth that is completely false. Why? A couple different safeguards that have been put into computers. If you bought your computer in the last 30 years, you're in good shape, and here's why. Number one, on a software level, in every operating system, there is a service built in called BMS, or Battery Management Systems. And what that is just a utility that monitors and manages the charging of the battery. And when it gets to full capacity, it knows to cut it off. So software has got you covered. Another thing put into place is the actual batteries themselves are now made out of lithium ion. And what that means is that actual material stops receiving a charge from the computer once it's completely full. So on a hardware level, you are completely covered. Software, you got BMS. Hardware, you got the lithium ion technology that stops that. So on two different fronts, you're not going to overcharge your battery. If you're actually worried about your battery health, what you should be worried about is heat. If you have a gaming laptop or a laptop running hot, rising temperatures of the computer itself can cause issues to that battery. You also want to be careful not to leave your battery in a hot car, because those extreme temperatures will cause it to swell and potentially destroy components around it like your touchpad or your keypad. Those are the things you have to worry about. One thing that's important too is to use original quality or OEM accessories with your devices. So if you have, say, a Dell laptop, it's best not to order that cheap Chinese-made charger on Amazon as a replacement. Stick with Dell quality chargers because you're going to get a good product that's built and designed to work with that particular laptop. Anyway, we got more myths to discuss. Lots of stuff that we've heard over the years, some really good ones coming up. Keep watching. We'll catch you guys on the next quick tutorial.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look outside through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam at the smoky conditions with that North Las Vegas construction fire and the ongoing California wildfires blowing smoke into our region. We have a closer look in weather after this break.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Good evening, Nevada. My name is Roy Rosell, coming to you from the Channel 25 Weather Studios. And taking a look at Nevada right now, up in northern Nevada, Fernley is looking at 91 degrees, Fallon is looking at 93, 86 in Carson City, 89 in Tonopah, Goldfield is seeing 90 degrees, Beatty is seeing 98, Amargosa is at 104, Las Vegas 1 degree higher at 105, and Death Valley today was at 114 today. But here in the beautiful paradise of Perump, it's currently 101. The high today was 103 with sunny skies. The wind was blowing south at 13 miles per hour. Humidity 8%, and the sun rose this morning at 5:54 and will be setting tonight at 7:44 p.m. The humidity rises up to 13%, and the wind continues to blow southeast at 11 miles per hour. The low tonight's going to be 77 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast that we will be seeing. We are seeing a lot of the same temperatures. Tomorrow will be 104 on Wednesday, 105 on Thursday, 104 on Friday and Saturday, 105 on Sunday. Then we go up to 106 next Monday, and then back down to 105. But besides Monday, we're all seeing 104 and 105 and then the little bit of 106. Make sure to wear more sunscreen than I did and stay hydrated, Nevada. Back to the desk. Here's UNet.
Thanks so much, Rory. And as we say goodbye tonight, we say goodbye to a Hollywood legend of the 70s and 80s. Lonnie Anderson unfortunately passed away on August 3rd at the age of 79 in the Los Angeles area. She's best known for her work in the sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati. That's for those 70s and 80s babies out there. And those of you who remember her remarkable beauty and her relationship with another heartthrob, Burt Reynolds. Rest in peace, Lonnie Anderson. That does it for this edition of News 25. I'm UNet Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.